Hello, everyone. This is Troy Harper. Welcome to Harper Cigar Lounge. This is episode 10. I sure can't wait to get back down here with you guys again. It's been way too long, and I'm sorry I haven't gotten this up sooner to you guys. But thank you for joining me today. Welcome, and I hope you guys have a smoke with you, a drink, and I hope you're relaxing. Hope you're sitting back and just forgetting about all the trouble out there in this world. And I hope you can just escape today and relax and enjoy yourselves with me. Again, thanks for hanging out. And all of you guys, thank you for being here today. So anyway, I've got a great cigar today to smoke for you guys under review. And what I'm going to be smoking today is the Blackened M81. And this cigar, of course, is James Hetfield's cigar from Metallica that he brought out. He teamed up with Drew Estates and brought the cigar out. But this cigar is a 5x50 Robusto, and it's got a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, and the binder's Connecticut broadleaf, and the filler is Nicaragua, Pennsylvania, and the strength is full considered. This cigar will run you around $9.99 for a single, around $48 for a pack of 5, and for a box of 20, around $184. And this information is coming off of Cigars Daily, which they are not supporting me in any way on this show. No one's supporting me. No one's sponsoring me. I'm doing this out of my own passion. And again, welcome today, guys. I hope you'll have a great time. This cigar that I'm smoking today, like I said, is from Drew Estates that teamed up with James Hetfield from Metallica. And so this is his blend. And it's a great cigar. From what I'm reviewing, it's a great cigar. But the taste notes is supposed to be leather, espresso, and dark chocolate. And again, it is a full strength cigar considered, so probably not for a beginner. But we'll find out today what its taste notes are really like, and I'll let you know if I consider it definitely a full strength cigar or not. And I'll let you know what taste notes I get. But hopefully it'll be a great cigar. I've heard so much about this cigar, and I've been so anxious to smoke this cigar. I've been waiting for a while because this episode was originally supposed to be recorded on March 23rd and then put up on the next day of March 24th. So I've been waiting patiently to smoke this cigar, but I didn't want to do it until I was with you guys. And if you guys have tried this cigar, let me know. But this cigar does come in other sizes. It comes in a Churchill, and it also comes in, let's see here, it comes in a Toro 6x52 as well. I'm not sure what the measurements are exactly on the Churchill, but it does come in that size as well. If you run across one, or if you run across any of those, and you're a Metallica fan, James Hetfield fan, make sure you grab those and try them. But hopefully you've got something today that you can drink and smoke with me today and enjoy yourselves, relax, like I said. Anyway, all of you rockers out there, keep rocking and keep smoking and keep hanging out with me each week. Hopefully next week I can get the next one up, which would be episode 11. So I plan on getting that up next week as well. I'm sorry again for the wait. Just a lot of hectic things going on with work, and been pretty exhausted. So I needed some time to recover and to get back into the groove of things with this show. So again, you guys, I'm so excited that you're here today. So, but anyway, I wanted to show you guys the latest on Cigar Aficionado magazine. It's got James Hetfield right on the front. And he's got a great article in here. But the article is called Master of Metal. And just a great article about his life, about his how he got involved in cigars. So there's another page there. But if you guys haven't read this magazine, you guys really need to pick this magazine up. There's a lot of great articles in it each time I get one. So And I've got to get my subscription renewed here pretty soon. It's almost out, so I got to get that done. But here's everything that's in this magazine about the Blackened cigars and James Hetfield and Metallica. So just a great long article. It's a great read, and there's a picture of him with his cigar. So, but anyway, you guys pick this magazine up. It's a great magazine. If you run across it, grab it. But in this magazine, it's just got so many great articles and so many reviews. There's articles with or reviews with cigars and different uh, spirits that you can pick up, whiskeys, bourbons, um, tequilas, whatnot, rums. So just a lot of great stuff in here. There's another great picture of cigars they're advertising, the white label from Rocky Patel. Just a lot of great stuff in here. I mean, it's just endless, all the stuff that's in here. Just lots of great stuff. And another advertisement, for another spirit. Um, but just a lot of great stuff in here, guys. But here's a great ad for the Blackened cigars right there. I have not been able to find the Blackened whiskey yet. I'm looking for it because I think that would be great to have as well. And I hope to find more of these Blackened cigars. Um, I really do. So, but if I'm liking it today, I hope to find more. But here's some cigar reviews out of this magazine. But just great magazines. Here was the previous edition right there. So the new one is March, April, and this last one was January, February. But just so many great things in these magazines. If you like to read and you're trying to study more on cigars and learn what's great out there in the business and what's great out there on the market, make sure you pick that up. Some other good magazines to pick up is Cigar Snob, Cigar Journal. If you run across those are great ones too. So, but today I'm gonna be rocking my Slayer shirt. I am rocking my Slayer shirt. But anyways, along with the cigar, I'm going to be discussing just some of the latest in the music world out there, tour dates, just latest updates for you guys, and of course I'll be discussing some of my Metallica records and CDs, my collection that I have, and we'll discuss a little bit, about the other thrash metal bands out there, such as Anthrax and Slayer, of course, and Megadeth. Though they're, along with Metallica, they're considered the big four. They're the best four out of all the thrash metal bands out there. So anyway, guys, thanks for being around still. And Slayer, I wish you guys would come back and get back together and play some dates and do another album or so. But I'm glad Metallica and Anthrax are still out there. Megadeth, of course. Glad they're still going. I hope to catch these guys soon. Um, Unfortunately, I have not been able to catch Metallica or Megadeth, and luckily I've gotten to see Anthrax, but I've never gotten to see Metallica or Megadeth. So they're on my bucket list to see, and I sure hope I get to eventually. It just hasn't been in the cards for me to catch those two bands yet. And of course, I never did get to see Slayer, but hopefully they'll be back around again eventually, and they'll decide to get back together and do some music. So I'm really hoping. So anyway, all of you guys out there today following this podcast, thank you for joining Harper Cigar Lounge. If you have, thank you for leaving your feedback and your likes. And thanks for joining the Harper Cigar Lounge Facebook page. If you have a lot of new members out there that have joined, we've got 300 members now that's joined. The last time I did this podcast, we had 261 members. Now we're up to 300. So that's 39 more members since last time we did this podcast. So very exciting. And if you guys haven't checked it out, it's of course based around cigars and heavy metal music. And anywhere back to the '60s with Jimi Hendrix, The Who, through the 70s where AC/DC and Van Halen started, and of course Black Sabbath. A lot of stuff on Black Sabbath and Kiss, of course. Got to have Kiss in there. But a lot of great stuff on the Harper Cigar Lounge page. So join that. It's free to join. You don't have to go through anything to join it. It's a public group page, so you can go right on and click on it and join. And if you haven't joined Harper Cigar Lounge podcast page or my channel, I'm sorry, is what I'm trying to say. My channel on YouTube, please join that. Give me your likes and feedback on that. I'll keep in touch. If you keep in touch with me, I'll message you back and let you know that I've gotten your message. And communicate with me. Let me know how you guys are doing out there. So anyway, I do want to say hi to some of my new members on Harper Cigar Lounge, and one's Brandy Lee, that has Bad Barbie Cigars. She's out of Philadelphia. So hi, Barbie. I want to say hi to you. And thank you for joining my group page here. And just a lot of new members that I'd like to say hi to. And I don't know where everybody's from. I'm trying to figure out where everybody's from, but there's Louis Landuras. And let's see here. So hi to you. Thank you for joining. Let's see here. Robbie Parton. Hi to you out there. Let's see here. Heath Tex Davis. Craig Reed. James Ward. Haley Brown, my good friend over in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Hello, Haley. Thank you for joining as well. Gosh, Jason Mendez. There's a lot of people. So if I haven't mentioned your name, I'm sorry, but you know who you are, and thank you. Without all of you, this wouldn't be possible. Just so you know that you guys are all very dear to my heart, and you guys are awesome. I hope you guys will continue to follow me and be a part of all this. This is a very special group. There's nothing out there like it. There's no other pages out there or groups you can join that are based around hard rock, heavy metal, and cigars. It's either one or the other. So this is a pretty unique group here. And so anyway, you guys, again, thank you. But anyway, let's get into the cigar here, guys. I've been so anxious to smoke this. It's got a real earthy, leathery smell. I'll just tell you that. But that doesn't mean it's a bad cigar by any means. But very earthy, very leathery kind of a smell. Got some smells in there. Also, some cocoa. So anyway, it's going to be a great cigar. I have a feeling. Anything that James Hetfield is a part of for Metallica, it's got to be great. So I'm sure it is. So anyway, so for you new people, always moisten your tip a little bit. Get some taste from that wrapper, and make sure that just try to get as much out of your cigars as you can. And enjoy every moment of it, and just take it all in, and just enjoy, relax. Don't rush it. Don't rush your experiences. Take a couple hours out of your day to have a good premium cigar. And I hope again you guys will be able to maybe run across one of these. Let me know if you have smoked this. Let me know what your thoughts are on it. Let me know what you've experienced with it. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and I'm using my guillotine cutter from Perdomo Cigars. And again, no one's sponsoring me or supporting me on this, but this is a great cutter. If you go on their website, you can order the same cutter. They've got lighters. They got a lot of stuff. Here's my cigar lighter there. Great lighter. I love it. But anyway, so this is the cutter I'm using. It's got a backing on it, so I can't cut too deep into the cigar. So, and what's great about the cigar is I can cut it wherever, and it will catch the cap on the end, which is what that's called, any of you new beginners out there. So anyway, it catches it right there like that. and I can just take it out and throw it in my ashtray. But on the cold draw, definitely getting some chocolate, I would say. Um, but anyway, before I forget, I better peel off this band that's on the foot here. I better take that off so I don't burn that up. But this is a really pretty cigar. There's so many great cigars that are so pretty. I hate to smoke them. I really do sometimes. Because they're such pretty cigars. So, but anyway, getting a lot of great taste. I'm gonna try to toast this with uh, this Zippo lighter here. I've never really used one. My brother sent me this. This was my dad's lighter when he was in the Navy. He unfortunately passed away almost 7 years ago. Rest in peace, Dad. Love you. Hope to see you again soon. Right, someday, not soon, but someday. No, I'm not ready to go anywhere yet. But this was his lighter, his Zippo lighter from the U.S. Navy. He was in the Navy from '65 to '71, and he was out of Port Arthur, Texas, where he was from. But there's his lighter there. It's kind of scuffed up, but you can't really see the engraving on it too much. But it is engraved. It's pretty neat. I got this from my brother. He sent it to me, so I went ahead and got it, rehaul on it. I got new flints for it and got new, you know, Zippo fluid, lighter fluid for it right there. And I didn't really have to replace the wick. I just had to cut it a little bit. It was pretty dried out and kind of fraying on the end a lot, and so I kind of gave it a little bit of a cut just to get that bad area off, and it's been working fairly well so far. So, but anyway, so there it is, Grant. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and toast this and see how it does here. And this is a new experience for me because I always use my jet lighters or my torch lighters. So this is a new experience for me here. So we'll see how it does. I guess so far it's not doing too bad, really. It's toasting the foot of my cigar pretty well. So, Grant, I'm glad I'm finally getting to do this for you in honor of Dad. And if I enjoy the Zippo today, I'll continue to use it. Definitely. But it's an honor to use this. Definitely, this Zippo lighter's only over 55 years old, so it's been around a while, but it's working great so far. So, but when you light this, you want to see the foot of your cigar. When you blow on it, it should all glow red. That will show you that all the tobacco has been toasted completely, and it's almost there. There we go. Oh yeah, it's glowing beautifully. So, Grant, thank you. I appreciate this. I really do. I love you. Glad I could use that finally. So anyway, hope you're watching. Hope you're with us today, brother. And you're a Metallica fan too, so I'm glad I could smoke and light this blackened cigar um, for you with Dad's lighter. So anyway, but yeah, there's the foot or the band that I took off the foot. M81 Maduro to the core, Maduro to the core. And so far, it definitely does have a full strength taste to it. Getting a lot of oak, definitely getting some oak taste notes. Um, let's see here. Yeah, definitely an oak or kind of an oak leather type of taste note. Not really sure if I'm getting any espresso yet. Not really getting the espresso yet, but just getting a lot of kind of an oak leather kind of a taste to it. And so I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see if I'm gonna get some espresso and dark chocolate out of this. I definitely got some dark chocolate or espresso out of the cold draw. So we'll see what happens with the rest of this here. But anyway, guys, let me give you some updates within the music world out there. If you know who Corey Glover is, he's in the band Living Color, but he's got a band called Thousand Lifetimes. Um, I believe is what they're called. Um, and no, I'm sorry, they're called Fire from the Gods. I apologize. Fire from the Gods, and their newest song is called Thousand Lifetimes. Um, and again, Corey Glover, that's with Living Colors in this band. Listened to this on YouTube, and it was pretty good. Really was really good. Really good song. So check them out. And let's see here. What else do we got going on? Let me find my stuff here. Um, let's see here. Oh, I'm not doing so good here. Hold on a second. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So if any of you guys are Saliva fans, I don't know if you've heard that guitarist Wayne Swinney has died. He suffered a brain hemorrhage, so he passed away. He's one of the founding members for Saliva. He's their founding guitarist. So anyway, so he's passed away. He was in the intensive care due to a following. He had a brain hemorrhage, and so fortunately he has passed away from that. And so any of you guys that are Saliva fans, you know that has happened, and that's tragic news for the metal world out there. So he'll be missed. And Mike Tramp from White Lion is looking to collaborate with Vito Bratta, um, but not under the White Lion name, but to do some collaborations with them. May do some old White Lion music. May have some new music that they've written together that they'll write together, maybe. But that might be in the works. And that comes from Blabbermouth .net. Um, and then Mark Slaughter from the band Slaughter, he's working on a documentary called The Wildlife, and that's due this summer. And they've got a box set right now that's out, I believe, that you can pick up. Probably if you go to Slaughter's website, you can probably find that box set for the Wildlife album. So check that out. Kiss will have a biopic to arrive in, should be out in 2024 sometime. Um, there is a biopic out right now. It's called Spinning Gold. It's not really about Kiss, but it's about Casablanca Records. So that's um, something for you to check out. That's out in, I believe it's out in the theaters right now. Um, and so so check that out. And so yeah, so it's not really about Kiss. The one that's out in the theater right now called Spinning Gold. It's about Casablanca Records. So check that out if you're interested. Let's see here. Um, let's see here. Doral Pesh, that has has been with Warlock over the years. or it was with Warlock. I don't think Warlock's been around for a while now, but Doro Pesh, she's working on a new album. She's been recording over in Miami Beach, Florida, and she's got a lot of different collaborations with different artists on there. She says it's supposed to be a really great album. I'm not sure when that's going to be out yet, but um, she's thinking possibly October 27th. And then they'll be doing a 40th anniversary concert at Mitsubishi Electric Hail or in Germany. Uh, can't pronounce the name of the city. Dusseldorf, Germany. So anyway, and then David Coverdale. Um, they're not sure when they'll pick up their farewell tour again. Um, they had to cancel it due to some sinus infections that was going on with David, and I guess some of the other band members were kind of sick too. Um, so yeah, Red Beach had to miss some shows in June of last year due to being under the weather, and so they had to cancel shows, during that time. And Tommy Aldridge got sick, and so they just everything hasn't been working to finish that tour, but he's not sure when that's going to happen, but hoping to finish that tour soon. um, David will be 72 this year, so he's getting up there in age, so but he would like to get that tour finished. um, and so anyway, um, see, they launched that farewell tour last May in 2022 on the 10th. And um, let's see here. So yeah, I'm not sure when their last show actually was, but they had to end it, So hopefully they'll be able to do that soon and get that up and going again. Um, and then let's see here. What else do we got today? Okay, so yeah, so we'll start getting into some Metallica news. Metallica will bring out their newest album, 72 Seasons. That will be out, let's see here, that'll be out this year. I believe they said April 14th, so that's coming up pretty quick. Yeah, April 14th is when that's supposed to be out. So, but I have listened to some of the new songs off of that album, and it is really good. But the new songs they've brought out that they've actually done videos for is 72 Seasons, If Darkness Had a Sun, and Lux Eterna is the name of the other one, and Screaming Suicide. Those are the four songs they've brought out so far, and they sound really good. Sound like the old Metallica. Sounds very similar to the old Metallica. So definitely check that out. Um, from what I'm hearing so far, it's really good. So anyway, so yeah, I'm anxious for that album to come out. I can't wait to grab that and pick it up. So it should be pretty good from what I've heard so far. It's great, excellent, and very hard album, very hard edged. Reminds you a lot of the old Metallica, definitely. So very excited about that, and and they've got a huge tour that they're going to be doing here. Let's see here. They they're starting April 27th, and that'll be in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Um, and then let's see here. So they'll be out of the States for a little while, and then they'll be in France through May, Germany at the end of May, towards the end of May. They'll be in the United Kingdom through June, and Sweden. Um, and then they'll be in New Jersey with Pantera and Mammoth. It looks like that'll be around in August. Then they're going to be with doing some shows with Five Finger Death Punch and Pantera, if I didn't mention that. Um, but yeah, they're going to be doing some shows in Canada, and then they'll be in the States again. They'll be in Arizona in September. Um, they'll be over in Detroit. So they've got a lot of shows that they're doing. So anyway, their last show looks like their shows will go on through September 27th. Their last show looks like it will be in Mexico of September 27th of next year, 2024. So they got a lot of shows planned, and hopefully they'll add more shows. I'm hoping they'll hit Denver, Colorado. That's the closest area that I'm at or to. So hopefully they'll be in Denver. Anyway, might have to relight this. I'm gonna go ahead and use my torch lighter this time. I don't know if the zip lighter or the Zippo lighter was strong enough to really toast those the tobacco the way it needed to. So I'm going to go ahead and give it one more a relight here and see if this will be the last one I have to do. But okay, got it back to where it needs to be. This is definitely a full strength cigar. It's got a nice hard punch to it. Um, Starting to get on this last draw that I just did. Starting to get some of those dark chocolate espresso notes now. Starting to taste that a little bit, along with the leather, definitely. But yeah, this is definitely a strong cigar. It's got a great taste, but it is a stronger cigar. So definitely would not recommend this to a beginner, not at all. But it's got great full flavor to it. I love it so far. It's really good, guys. So I do recommend this if you're more of a Maduro type of cigar smoker, which that's what this is. It's a Maduro wrapper, um, very dark, rich wrapper on this thing, but really great smoke so far. Very good cigar, guys. Definitely check it out. Um, but yeah, and then Slayer, of course, they're not touring anymore. But the last show they did was May. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. Well, I thought I had that down. But anyway, forget it. I thought I had Slayer's information down when they toured last time. Actually, yes, I do. Here it is. So the last show that Slayer did was was on August 26th of 2018. So it's been a while. It's been a while, and that was in North America somewhere. But they had Anthrax and Lamb of God, Behemoth and Testament with them as well during that time. So that would have been a great show. Great, that would have been great shows to see. And actually, I was wrong. The last show they did um, was in 2019. Was March 23rd, 2019. So anyway, so that was my fault. But yeah, so 2019 was the last time they toured. But so it's been a while. Hopefully they'll get back together again. Like I've said, hopefully they'll get back together. I really do hope so. Um, And then just want to, for us to remember Cliff Burton. He was killed, September 27th of '86. Um, and they their bus had a wreck, and he was thrown out the window and was, crushed from the bus. So, but rest in peace. Rest in peace, Cliff. You're missed definitely, and then. Um, Yeah, I mean they've had some great bass players since then. Um, let's see here. They had Jason Newsted. He was with them for a while. Um, he was with them during the Injustice for All and the Black album and Load and Reload so he had been with them for a little bit, but But they've had Samuel. Let's see here. Trying to get my phone to work the way it needs to. Robert Trujillo. Uh, he's been with them now since Jason Newsted left, and um, let's see, he joined in 2003, so he's been with them since 2003. So anyway, but trying to see if there's really anything else that I need to bring up um, in the music world here. Let's see here. I think I've covered it all pretty much. Anything late that's pretty new. Actually, no, I need to discuss a couple more things. Um, Saxon lost their guitarist. He decided to step down from touring, so they've recruited Diamond Head's Brian Tatler for upcoming shows throughout the summer. So he'll be with them, and then there's a festival coming up in Indio, California. It's a power trip festival, and Grant, you might want to hear this. Um, the bands that are playing during this 3-day festival is Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Metallica, Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne, and Tool. So we've been waiting so anxiously to see AC/DC again, me and my brother. So hopefully, and my brother's always wanted to see Ozzy, so try not to get my hopes up, but hopefully AC/DC and Ozzy will maybe get back to touring again and be in the shape they need to be to do it. So hopefully that will happen finally, that my brother and myself will get to see AC/DC and Ozzy. Um, I've seen Ozzy, and he was great. I saw him, oh gosh, would have been in 2017, I think is when I saw Ozzy. And Corey Taylor opened up for him. He was with his band Stone Sour, so that's who opened up for him at the time, and that was over in Denver, Colorado, at McNichols or at the Pepsi Center, which is called now the Ball Arena. So anyway, Grant, hopefully we'll get to see them finally eventually together. But anyway, that festival, that Power Trip Festival, will be October 6th, 7th, and 8th, and general admission is around $599 starting, $599 starting. Reserves floor seats are $799 starting. If you're wanting to sit in the grandstands, $1,099 a seat. The pit is $1,589, and the VIP packages start at $1,749. So it's not going to be a cheap festival to go see, but if you guys get a chance to do that, go do it definitely. And then Winger, their new album 7 will be out May 5th. You can pre-order that now on their website. If you go to winger.com, you can pre-order that album. I've heard the song called Proud Desperado, which is very good. So check them out. Order that new CD of theirs or album. And this is their 35th anniversary. So they started out in 1988, and so yeah, they've been around 35 years now. So it's hard to believe they've been around that long. But if you can catch Winger on tour, which they got some tour dates, make sure you check them out. They got some great bands they're going to be playing with. I know Great White is one of them. So they've got some different bands they're going to be playing with. So anyway, but if you guys are interested in ordering the new Metallica album, that'll be out on April 14th of this year, which is coming up pretty quick. If you go to Metallica's website, you can order their new vinyl. You can either order it in black vinyl or smoky black colored vinyl. It's a 2 LP set for $36.98. And then if you want to order the CD, it's $15.98. Or let's see here, the cassette, I'm sorry, is $15.98. So cassettes are starting to kind of make a comeback all of a sudden, it seems like. And the CD is $14.98. So it's hard to believe that the cassette is more than the CD, but maybe it's just going to be a very limited thing. It's probably more of a collector's item. I don't know if they're really making cassette players anymore. Maybe they will bring cassette players back again. I don't know. Wouldn't doubt it. And if you guys do have cassette players out there and they're still working good, pick up the cassette if you like cassettes. So if you want to download it on, let's see here, you can download it from their website, or I bet you can probably go to Apple iTunes and download it as well. But if you go to their website, Metallica's website, you can download it for $11.99. And so anyway, yeah, pretty exciting that they got a new album coming out. Their last album, which was um, let's see here, which was Hardwired to Destruct, which came out in 2016, was a great album. And then previous to that was, let's see, it was Death Magnetic. And that came out in, Death Magnetic came out in 2008, but that was another great album. So those two albums, Hardwired to Destruct and Death Magnetic, really remind you of the old Metallica. And of course, the new album now, 72 Seasons, another old Metallica sounding album. So I can't wait to grab that as well. But anyway, if you're a Metallica fan, you guys might want to grab that album that's coming out. I do recommend Death Magnetic and Hard Wired to Destruct. Those are great albums if you haven't grabbed them yet. Make sure you do that. Because, yeah, they are great albums, really are. So, and I'm going to kind of show you a little bit of my Metallica collection here. Um, I really love those last two albums they did. So hopefully the next one's going to be really great. I know what I've heard so far is really great. So anyway, very anxious to pick that up. But what are you guys drinking today, by the way? Are you guys drinking anything that that you just drink on occasion, or is it an everyday thing? Or what I'm drinking today is the Kraken rum that I've just recently discovered. Got this from a buddy of mine, and boy, it's really good. It's a black spiced rum, and it's got some caramel flavorings in it. But so far, I've really enjoyed this rum. I'm usually Captain Morgan rum drinker, but and I'll always be a Captain Morgan rum fan. But this rum is really good. So, but anyway, today I got my glass here that my wife picked up for me, and you can put your cigar on it just like that. And so, anyway, so cheers to you guys. Cheers. And I've also got some black coffee today with me with some, it's a latte, or it's kind of a dark chocolate, a little bit of a dark chocolate creamer that I put in there. I like my coffee black and very bold, but sometimes a little cream or something in there tastes good. So I've done that today. Get a drink of my rum here. That tastes very good. Tastes very good. And actually, that pairs very well with the cigar too. Um, I really do hope to find that Blackened whiskey soon. I really do hope to find that. Um, I've heard great things about the whiskey as well, and I can't imagine that it wouldn't pair great with the Blackened cigar as well. So I'm really hoping to get that soon. I'm hoping to find that. So, Grant, if I find that, I'll make sure I get you a bottle of that too if you want one. So, um, definitely getting more of the chocolate taste or espresso taste in this now, and it has calmed down a little bit. It's not as strong and it's not as strong and full bodied as it was. It's kind of toned down a little bit to a medium, I'd have to say. now. But yeah, very good cigar, guys. I'm really happy with the cigar so far. Very happy with it. Um, but anyway, so down here I've got my candles lit. I've got the lights dimmed down, and even though I'm featuring kind of the thrash metal music today, I've actually got Lita Ford in the background on my TV. Such a huge fan of Lita Ford, and I sure hope to catch her eventually again too. Um, had the privilege of meeting her back in 2014, back in Sheridan, Wyoming. Got to hang out with her a little bit, my brother as well, and we had gone down there to Sheridan, Wyoming to see Striper, and that's where my brother lives. But went down there to see Striper, and got to meet Lita Ford, hang out with her a little bit too, which was great. And my brother at the time didn't realize how big of an artist she was or who she really was. He had never really paid attention to Lita Ford too much. But once I brought up the song that she had done, which is "Close My Eyes Forever" with Ozzy, he kind of remembered her. And but after that was all over, he started realizing how big of an artist she was and everything. So, but anyway, speaking of my brother, I do want to say hi to the rest of my family out there and friends. Uh, Hope you guys are enjoying this today so far. But yeah, my lounge, I've got it. Speaking of Close My Eyes Forever, that's what's playing on the TV right now, Lita and Ozzy. Um, but anyway, my lounge, I've got it dimmed down pretty good today. I've got candles all over and everything. And I actually, you can't see it, but I actually added a electric humidor finally to my cigar lounge, and that's working out great. It's a Schmecky Cigar Lounge. It holds around 250 cigars, and so that's working out great. So now I'm able to keep a little more of my supply down here. I still got a couple other little humidors over there, but the cigars in my electric humidor are more the ones that I'm aging and kind of keeping up for special occasions. And then I've got my tabletop or my desktop humidors down here as well for cigars that I will allow my guests to have while they're here and smoke. They're just more everyday smokes, and I've been using those as well more than the ones in my electric humidor, which has been a great investment. I got through Home Depot. It was around $400 for it or so. But it's been a great humidor. It's really keeping the humidity levels great in there. And I usually keep my humidity and my temps around 66, 67, around there. And that seems to work perfectly for me. But if you guys are looking for a good electric humidor and you haven't invested in one yet, I definitely recommend the Schmecky. 250 count electric humidor through Home Depot. They've got one that you can get for a bigger one that holds up to around 400 and I want to say 450 cigars. So anyway, but this one's working perfect for me and loving it. So anyway, so that's been a great addition to my cigar lounge. Um, but yeah, I just got to dim down like I usually do, just keeping it relaxing and I hope wherever you guys are right now, I hope you guys are relaxed and enjoying yourselves today with me. But keep the metal real, keep rocking, guys. Keep those fists pumped in the air, and keep the torch lit for metal. There's a lot of great shows out there. Make sure you support all the artists out there. The more we support them and go see them and buy their albums, buy their CDs. More than likely they'll be around longer. But if the sales don't do very well and we don't support them, they're going to go away. And so many bands are going away. We have lost so many people to passing away and bands retiring and ending things. Kiss is going to end things at the end of this year on December 2nd in New York. So it's gonna be hard to see them go. And right now it's really pissing me off, but right now Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley are feuding with each other. Paul Stanley had mentioned on the Howard Stern show quite some time back that they were discussing when they were inducted into the Hall of Fame, and Howard Stern was wondering why Peter Criss and Ace Frehley didn't play, and Paul said if they had, it would have been called Piss instead of Kiss, and so that's upset Ace Frehley, and he's expecting an apology from Paul, but he said Paul called him and told him to fuck off, and which I guess Paul's manager is denying that ever happened. So I hate to see these guys feuding with each other. Just it really upsets me that this is going on. Everyone. This is the metal world, and it's it's a business. I know, and I know business has got to take place. But dang it, I wish these guys would get along and just appreciate the time they've had together and the work they've done together, and appreciate each other more, and stop all this bullshit of saying hurtful things to each other. And it's just it fucking pisses me off. It really does. And Ace Frehley, I love Ace Frehley. I love Peter Criss, and they were such a huge part of Kiss, and they'll never be forgotten in my eyes. And I miss Eric Carr. I miss Mark St. John, that was only with him for a short time, and Bruce Kulick, that used to be a Kiss, and Eric Singer and Tommy Thayer, that has been with Kiss for quite a while, playing Ace Frehley and Peter Criss's parts, and they're doing great. I still love Kiss with those guys as well, but I just wish these guys would make up, kiss and make up, kiss and make up, kiss and makeup, kiss and the makeup. So, but anyway, no, I wish these guys would just make amends and get along again and appreciate each other and build that friendship up and just reflect on their past that they've had together. I just hate to see Kiss go out and go away from the scene with all these things going on. I really hope they'll get things straightened out. And Ace Frehley said if Paul Stanley doesn't apologize, he's going to say a bunch of things about Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, stuff supposedly that they don't want people to know about. So I don't know. It's such bullshit. I hope all these guys will stop all this crap and make up and get along again and just be friends the way they should be family and friends the way they should be. I mean, they've got such a huge history with each other. So anyway, I hope they'll really do that. I do. So anyway, guys, get your act together. Get things straightened out with each other and stop all this fucking bullshit. I'm telling you guys, it's hurtful to hear this, especially since I'm such a huge Kiss fan and I've supported this band for so long. I've been supporting her since I've been 7 years old, and I'll be 53 this August. So anyway, I just hate to see this stuff, and it goes on all over. There's a lot of it that goes on. It's just it's such bullshit. If you guys want to part ways and go do your own thing, that's great. Do it. But don't don't treat each other like shit. And try to bring up bad stuff between each other. Just appreciate each other for what you've done out there. The creative work you've done and the music you've done. For the fans and if anything, do it for the fans' sake. If anything, because us fans that are diehards, we hate to see this stuff. We really do. I think I can probably speak for a lot of fans out there. So, and that's one thing I do appreciate about Metallica. Um, those guys are still together, and they've had bass player situations change over the years, but they get along great. They love each other. They're family. They're brothers, and they treat each other with respect. And that's why they're still together. Any band that still has original members, minus the fact that maybe a member passed away or got killed or whatever, and they had to replace that person. But the bands that have stayed together and have remained family and friends and respect each other, they're still together. They're still together doing great work, and it shows in the work they do. It shows. Um, so I appreciate the bands that get along and work together and really treat each other like family and treat each other with great respect. And so hats off to you guys for that. I don't want to keep my hat off for very long. my hair is looking kind of wild today. So, but these hats that I wear, you guys have seen me with all these different hats that I wear during my videos. They come from a company called Boston Scally, and they're kind of out of the New Jersey, New York area. Check those guys out. If you are looking for some really comfortable hats, these hats are wonderful. I have so many of them. God, they keep pumping out such great hats, but I'm running out of room to buy any more. But they're around 50 to 53 a piece plus shipping. But there's coupon codes you can get, and that kind of pretty much takes off the shipping charges, the way the coupons work out. But you can find coupons if you Google Boston Scally Company uh, coupons or discounts or discount coupons. You can find those on the internet, and it'll knock off the shipping at least. But I don't have one on this hat, but I usually will buy a hat pin to go with them. They got some really neat hat pins as well, and all their hats are based around certain themes, and so they usually have a really cool hat pin that goes with a lot of their hats. But unfortunately, when I first started buying them, they didn't have a hat pin for this one anymore. So, but this is just a really really comfortable hat. This is oh, I'm trying to remember. This is a oh, I'm trying to remember the name of this hat now. Um, but anyway, I can't remember. But anyway, it's just such a comfortable hat. It's made out of wool and polyester, and pretty warm for the winter time. And it does get a little. This one gets a little warmer in the summertime, so I don't really wear it too much in the summertime. But they got hats for winter, summer. They got waterproof hats. So, but inside of it, that's the logo they have on the inside, and so that's what it looks like. But kind of a nice leatherish type of brim underneath, and just very, very durable hats. So just great hats. So make sure you guys check out Boston Scally if you're looking for a great hat. And these hats go great with anything. I can dress up in dress clothes. I can wear my metal t-shirts. I can, pretty much wear whatever I want. They go with anything. They go with everything that I got. But I've got probably about 10 or so of these hats now. Um, with the cigar, I'm definitely getting more of the chocolate notes. Definitely getting some of the chocolate notes. Um, and it's really tasty, guys. Really tasty cigar. Really tasty cigar. So, but anyway, definitely pick up the Blackened M81 uh, Maduro to the core is what it's called. Definitely pick these up. I'm loving this cigar. I'm probably going to rate the cigar pretty high. I've had to relight it once or twice, but and it's probably just because I'm talking too much and not puffing enough, and that's basically what happens. But when I have to relight a cigar, it doesn't ruin the experience for me. It's just something that happens with cigars. It happens at times. So, but yeah, some cigars that I get, I don't ever have to relight, and sometimes I do. But sometimes it might be because the leaves are rolled too tight. But that's one thing about these premium cigars. The leaves are rolled, and it's all tobacco. There's no any chemicals or anything in it. It's all rolled tobacco. The outer part is a leaf, and then there's the binder inside. That's another leaf, and then you got your binder or you got your filler. That's all rolled tobacco. You can find cigars that are that's got mulched up tobacco and long filler tobacco as well, or but I love a good premium cigar, and I appreciate every moment, every puff I take out of it. I love it. Um, I used to smoke Swisher Sweets when I was younger, and I really don't do that anymore. I do have some more, I got some cigars that are a little less priced, for everyday type stuff. And some of those cigars do have the long filler and the short filler, which is some of the mulched up uh, tobacco, which is kind of leftovers from cigars I roll. So some cigars will have that, but your machine made cigars is just all mulched tobacco, and And machine-made cigars, I don't know if there's anything else in it that's not tobacco. I don't know. But I know premium cigars, you're always going to be guaranteed that you're going to have just all tobacco. And you're going to get different flavor notes and a lot of great different smells and aromas out of it from the smoke. And so the overall experience on a premium cigar is just wonderful. I love it. Um, and I've talked about it before, but make sure you guys, you know, if you're starting out, these travel humidors are great to start off with. Um, they look like that, on the inside. Um, and I can hold about 15 cigars in this one. And then I've got a smaller one here that holds 10 cigars. And these are pretty much for traveling. But if you're just starting out and you don't really want to go buy a bigger humidor, these work out for starting, just starting out. And you can take them with you wherever you go, and if you're just an occasional smoker and you're traveling, maybe something like this would work. My son bought me this. This holds, 2 to 3 cigars, maybe 4, depending on how small they are or big they are. It's got a cutter with it, and it's leather, really sturdy, and you can put this inside your coat pocket or, something maybe or your jacket. So that's a great little thing to have if you're starting out. But make sure you also, when you're traveling, make sure you have Boveda packs. Make sure you go to Boveda.com and order Boveda packs. I use 72% Boveda packs. These are the size 8s, but I will use those inside my travel humidors, and they work out great. They look like this pretty much. It's what they look like, and they will release and add humidity to your cigars when it's needed. And so they're great to have. For my desktop humidors, I will, have these for my desktop humidors. I'll use, 2 to 3 or maybe 4 of these in one of my humidors, my desktops, depending on how many cigars I've got. Usually one of these will work up, for about 25 cigars. One of these will work for about 25 cigars. So if you have a 100 count cigar desktop humidor, you'll probably need about 4 of these or so. Um, and then for my electric humidor, I use 69% Boveda packs. I've got some on the bottom of it. It's got distilled water, and then I usually put one of these inside of my humidor as well, and that kind of keeps my temps where they need to be. So those are great. So there's a lot of great accessories you can get. I also will put one of these inside of my my travel humidors, and in all my humidors, I put these in there. It shows you the humidity levels, the temp levels. Uh, right now inside this room, it shows it's 33% humidity and 67 degrees in my cigar lounge right now. So, but that's what I use inside of my humidors. Um, and then you can get these little humidor things here like this that you can put inside your desktop humidors. They'll keep humidity going through there as well. You just put distilled water in that and shake it out. Make sure it's not uh, too drenched. You just want it nice damp on the inside. And after I fill it, I'll put it on a towel and kind of get the excess water out of it. But I'll keep those in my desktop humidors, and that on top of that with my Boveda packs, it really keeps the humidity levels and the temps great. You don't want to go any less than 62 degrees or 62% humidity. You don't want to go anything higher than 72% humidity or temps. You can have all kinds of issues with your cigar. You'll have to Google the effects of that if you don't keep your temps at the right levels. I won't get into all that this time. I got into it, and I've gotten into all that in my last video. So if you're looking for more information, just look at my past podcasts, and I'll discuss a lot of that kind of stuff in there. So a lot of tips I've put out on my last videos. So watch my past videos, and you'll get a lot of information that you need. And inside my travel humidors, I'll keep one of these as well. My butane, that works great with these lighters that I've got. I've got all kinds of different lighters. I've got my, let's see here. Let me get that going here. my 3-torch lighter, and I've got this is a 4-torch lighter, and those work great for outside when it's windy and stuff like that. I've got a 2-torch lighter, and that works great for smaller cigars, maybe. Um, and I've got a single torch lighter. Those work kind of the way Zippo might work. So, but anyway, now I got the Zippo lighter to use. So, a lot of different options out there for lighters, anyway. And some people like to use matches, but they don't work real great when you're traveling or outside. I don't really care for those too much. And I kind of keep one of these. If my draw is too tight, I can put this through the end of my cigar on both ends, poke it all the way through. Make sure I poke it through the middle so I don't pop it out the side or anything, but that will open up some of the airflow if you got too tight of a draw. So that works out great. Um, I'll keep little pocket knives with me, and I can put all these inside my travel humidor. But a little screwdriver to adjust my flame levels. Inside these, there's a thing in here where you can adjust your flame levels, and so those come out. So I make sure that I have everything with me that I need. Um, when I'm traveling or when I'm down here in my cigar lounge, I don't want to have to end my experiences with my cigars by not having the supplies around that I need. But so I've got plenty of butane, and they come in different sizes as well. There's that size, there's that size, and they're not very much. This bigger can costs around about $5.99. This one costs around $3 or $4. Little cans like this cost, a couple bucks. So I make sure I have everything with me that I need when I'm traveling or when I'm down here in my humidor. When I'm down here hanging out, I make sure I have plenty of stuff. And then, I keep plenty of extra ashtrays for me and my buddies or family that comes over. I keep, plenty of ashtrays. Um, Another one I got here, my Cohiba. And this one I got it off of eBay actually, and I was able to also buy this is a Cohiba uh, ashtray, so I was able to buy a Cohiba lighter with it, or a cutter, a guillotine cutter. This one here has got it's got a V-shaped cutter. Um, I got a punch. If some people like to use a punch, I got one on my keychain. So if I'm ever out and I forget my cutter, I can punch a hole in it in the end of my cigar. And sometimes I need to punch a couple different holes to open up the end a little more. Um, and uh, and then of course I got a really nice Cohiba lighter right there with it as well, and that's a 4-torch as well. So I've got plenty of accessories around, to make sure that my smoking experiences are great, and so they're great for my friends and family that come over. Always have, backup lighters, backup Aveda packs, have all the tools you need to adjust your lighters if you need to adjust the flame if they're too big or too small. Um, Trying to think of what else I got, that I need. Well, if I got my buddies over, of course, I always have, something to have them drink, if they want, whether it's coffee. I've got a little coffee maker over there, so we can have coffee down here with our cigars, which is what I really like a lot with my cigars. Cheers once again to you guys. I keep, some extra whiskey glasses down here. So I keep everything around to make sure that our experiences are great, or my experience is great if I'm by myself. But got a TV down here with a Blu-ray player and a stereo system, and so we can watch things on YouTube or TV or watch Blu-rays, whatever. Got my air cleaners in here, so that's another thing you might want to invest in if you're going to have a lounge at your house. Make sure you have some air cleaners. I've got a Viva air cleaner, which I'm looking into getting a Rabbit Air down the road eventually. But so make sure you have plenty of accessories around to make your experiences great. And it's just really important because you don't want to stop, your experience by having to run off somewhere to find what you need. And unfortunately, I'm in an area where I can't really go out of town to go get things. My grocery store that I manage, um, Main Street Market here in town, is a grocery store that I manage. I carry premium cigars. And there I got about 30 different cigars. I've got cigarillos. I do carry Dutch Masters. I carry Swisher Sweets. I carry all the premium cigars. I carry lighters, cutters, Boveda packs. So if I do have to, I get them at my own store first and foremost. But some things I've got to order online. And Cigars Daily, Cigars International, Cigar Place. Those are three sites I go to buy accessories. Boveda.com, of course, for my Boveda packs. So there's a lot of great places to go find cigars. I do order through online different cigars to try because I've only got so much room I can carry for cigars at my store. So I do go to internet sites and find some things that I need or really want to try that I can't carry in my store yet. So a lot of great resources out there, but a lot of great stuff out there. But if you guys are trying to learn more about cigars or you're starting out, um, go to YouTube. Uh, if you can download like a podcast app, and you can look up cigars on that, and you can listen to cigars. Cigar Snob. I'm sorry, the Cigar Authority, and want to get out some information here. But if you go to twocigarguys.com, that's another great site to go to. And I've recently became friends with David Garofalo. He's the president and owner of twoguyscigarshop.com. And he's out of Salem and Nashua. Salem, Nashua, and Seabrook, Wisconsin, I believe is where he's at. But he's the one that has the Cigar Authority podcast, and also he's got a YouTube show you can go to watch that. Ash Holes is another thing he's got that you can watch and listen to. So I listen and watch things on YouTube with him and his team. But I listen to the podcast daily. And there's Cigar Snob. That's another great podcast that you can listen to. But you can learn a lot from those guys if you listen to those podcasts or watch things on YouTube. You can learn about different cigars that are out there on the market that are great. Um, and then you can download. I've got a couple books downloaded on my phone that I've got. Books that I downloaded when I was first learning about cigars that I learned a lot from. My wife has bought me books, journals that I can journal my experiences in and keep track of what I've smoked. That's and see what was great, what wasn't great. So I can continue to look for the great cigars and not so much for the bad cigar. Cigars I wasn't happy with. But anyway, so a lot of great resources, guys, out there. A lot of things you can go to learn from, and that's how I learned. I learned by watching Tim Swanson on Cigars Daily. I watched him for a long time in the beginning, and I still do. But he's the one that I learned a lot from when it came to cigar techniques and what I need to do to smoke my cigars in a way where I'm going to enjoy them more and not have trouble. So I've learned a lot from him, and I've learned a lot from David Garofalo as well. But David, hi, it's great being friends with you, and So anyway, but and then also, um, I want to say hi to Barbie Lee with Bad Barbie Cigars, and it's great to have you as a friend. And thank you for joining my Cigar Lounge group page. And I hope you'll check out the YouTube stuff and give me your feedback on that. I welcome any feedback. David Groffel actually watched one of my podcasts, and he gave me a thumbs up. Really liked it. So Barbie, give me your feedback as well. I'd really appreciate it. I'll never, I'll never stop learning. That's one thing. I'm always trying to find more ways of smoking to make my experiences better and to learn more. So always looking for ways to learn. So, um, but anyway, all of you guys out there, you're great role models to me, and I appreciate you. And again, all of you guys that have joined Harper Cigar Lounge, whether it's my YouTube channel or my group page, thank you. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. But anyway, so hope you guys are enjoying the content on the group page. I try to put anything up that will maybe bring back great memories for you. That will help people that are the younger generation that are getting into heavy metal, hard rock. Anything that can be up on that they can look back on or look to and search and find groups that have been around, from the 80s, 70s, 60s that they want to listen to and get into, so they can see what great music's out there in the heavy metal hard rock field. So, but so many great bands are just endless, and a lot of stuff that goes up on that group page with cigars, that are out there available for you to find, and just want you guys to enjoy that page and learn from it, and hopefully it brings back great memories for you. I really do. Us older people that got to grow up in the 80s, which was such a great time. All the concerts, all the bands I got to hang out with, got to work in the music field for a little while, got to work around, with my heroes, and just so many great people in that business that I got to hang out with and be around. But so the 80s was a great time. It was nothing about partying and fucking rocking. It was nothing about partying and rock. And I tell you, it was all about having a good time, and I miss those days. And I don't think I've ever grown up completely. I still have all this in me. I live my life the same way every day. I try to have a good time no matter what. And um, and I don't think I've ever grown in that area. No matter what I do in life, I try to have a great time with it. Even if it's difficult times, I try to find the good in everything and enjoy it. And I do get frustrated. I have some moments and days where things get very frustrating with work, and I get pretty wore out, emotionally, physically, and have to get a little more sleep at times. But I wake up the next day ready to go again, and everything. So, but anyway, but I just try to enjoy life, and I tell you what, smoking a good cigar uh, really helps to enjoy life more, and um, to reflect on my life and what I have in my life, and what I have experiences I've had that I have great memories from. But I've got a wonderful wife and two wonderful sons, and so I'm very blessed. And I've got a great family that's very supportive of me, and so I love all of you. Thank you, and thank you to my wife and my youngest son Jason for helping me get the Cigar Lounge going. This all started about a year ago almost now, and we've added more to it. Music memorabilia from things that I've had, things that have been given to me, within the music field, and people that I worked with, just stuff that I've picked up from friends and family. I've got stuff down here. I've got cigar memorabilia down here. I've got a lot of music memorabilia, and all this around me just keeps all the good vibes going, and keeps my mind in the right place, But Marcie, my beautiful wife, I love you. Jason, my wonderful son, I love you. Gage, my other wonderful son, I love you, and I appreciate you guys all being in my life. All my friends and family, all my friends here and family that I consider you guys as, on in the Harper Cigar Lounge family. You guys are wonderful. I love all of you guys, and I'm glad you guys are a part of all this with me. So without you, again, none of this would be possible. So, but anyway, I'll stop. I'll stop before I start crying or something, which isn't very metal. So I better stop crying, or I better not do anything to start crying. Is what I'm saying. But anyway, I don't want to get teary eyed on here. Um, Gotta keep the good happiness going here. So, but anyway, there's happy tears too, I suppose. So, But anyway, I want to show you guys some of my collection. Um, and let's see here. Let's see. Let me see. But anyway, I want to show you my Metallica album collection. Um, get some of this out. Let's see here. Trying to get everything in order the way it needs to be. Anyway, so my first album, first album I heard from Metallica was Master of Puppets. Right there. Uh, Great album. That's what got me hooked onto Metallica in the beginning. And Master of Puppets came out in '86. But there's that album, and my brother just picked this album up, so I'm glad he did. Uh, Great album. That is probably my favorite album still to this day, I'd have to say. And then I caught on next to Ride the Lightning. Great album. I mean, this is a really great album, too. I'd say it's probably my second favorite album of Metallica. And Ride the Lightning came out in 1984. So there's that. And then, of course, went on to listen to the very first Metallica album, which is Kill 'Em All, and that came out in '83. So there's that album. There they are when they're young, just young guys, but there they are. Kill 'Em All, that's a really great album as well. Very, very thrash type metal, very thrash. I mean, it's really great stuff. This is a great thrash album. Um, and then on this album, Metallica was starting to mature a little more. Of course, you could tell with their musical style in this. Great thrash metal still, but you could tell they were maturing a little bit. So a little more, the way the music style is, a little more speed type metal instead of the thrash metal. So, but great album, guys. And then, of course, after that, there was Garage Days. That's another great album. And this came out, oh gosh, I want to say this one came out probably, um, I want to say it came out around 87, maybe 1987. But anyway, so they've got, they've got covers is what they've done on here. They've done cover tunes of the bands that, were big to them and that influenced them. So they've got the first song on the first side is Helpless, The Small Hours, and then The Wait, Crash Course in Brain Surgery, and uh, Last Caress / Green Hell. So, a great album, great album. And then, of course, they brought out Injustice for All, which they've got the great song called One on there. Then it was the first video they ever did. So anyway, that was kind of the turning point where they started kind of going commercial a little bit. Still a great type of speed metal thrash album, but with One, you could tell that they were kind of starting to go in a direction where they were going to go a little more commercial. And I know a lot of fans started kind of wondering what direction they were going to go in. And the musical styles on Injustice for All were definitely different than their other albums, but great hardcore metal or thrash, speed metal type stuff on this. But when they were considered underground for so long, and then when they brought the video out on MTV for One, I mean, it really brought them more audiences and more fans. But of course, the fans kind of knew that they were going to start going, I think, in the direction of being more commercial, which it's hard to stay away from because every band wants to have more fans and more airplay, more awareness, so they get more fans, and it's a lot of bands try to not have videos for a long time, but then they started doing it, so everyone else started doing it as well. But and then of course the Black album, this came out in '91, and there's the back of it. Um, in the album where it's black, you can see a snake. It's really hard to see, and but it was called the Black Album. Just it was called Metallica. It was really all it was called was Metallica, but it's considered the Black Album. And of course, it was a very good hard album, hard metal album. But they brought out Enter Sandman. That was the first song they brought out. And then they did Sabbath True and um, The Unforgiven, which was kind of a ballad almost type of song. So then, of course, a lot of fans were really starting to be upset with Metallica for doing that, which I thought the music quality was great. And of course, I've always been a fan of all metal. I'm a fan of Stryper, of course. They're buddies of mine. I've worked with them and still keep in touch. I'm gonna get to see them in May. So I've always been a big fan of Stryper. Still am. Poison, Cinderella, Molly Crew, of course, and Winger. I don't know. It's just endless Rat. I love Rat. So I love all the the hair metal stuff is what they called it, which I never have liked the term hair metal, but it was all based on what they looked like, not their music quality, which I didn't like. But um, so um, big fan of all those bands, and then so with them bringing out a slower song, it didn't bother me as much, as the more hardcore thrash metal crowd, I guess. And I've always been into hardcore thrash metal as well. Still am, but I love all hard rock metal. I really do, and so that didn't bother me so much. That they did that. But anyway, a lot of fans were upset by it. Um, and then they brought out later on in the years they brought out this great live compilation. It's called Live Shit, Binge and Purge. It's got 2 live CDs and 2 live DVDs, and the CDs were taking place during their Injustice for All tour and the Black Album tours. So there's live shows um, from Mexico City, San Diego, Seattle. But this is a great album to have. Um, but on the inside, um, it's got it's got that CD there, and then there's a book, um, and there's another CD, and then there's a DVD or 2 DVDs in there, right there. And then let's see, I'm trying to see where they went, but I think it's inside my book here. Let me find it. But it came with some couple of old backstage passes to commemorate those tours. Yeah, right here. So there's actually there's that one from the pit. That was from the Black Album tour, and I don't know. There's a little punch out stencil thing you could do if you wanted to draw their mascot, or something. Um, but anyway, so had that in it too. I thought it was pretty cool. And I don't know how available this is anymore, but I've had it for quite a while, and it's been a great set to have. So great shows on CD and DVD. So that's a great set to have. Better get a puff of my cigar here. Still getting not as hard or not as strong flavors on this. I'm gonna say it's more medium now. Still, definitely getting still some chocolate and espresso along with the oak and cedar, oak and leather. And I'm guessing the leather is black leather that is metal. So that all of his metal heads have worn off and on through our life. Black leather. Anyway, so um, taste notes of black leather, I'll say, and yeah, just oak and cedar and chocolate. Definitely some chocolate and espresso. I'm getting out of this. But James and Drew Estates, you guys nailed the cigar big time. It's a great cigar. I will look for more of these, definitely. It's a nice, strong, medium to strong cigar, and I'm loving it. I really am. And actually, I've been meaning to mention, but the burn has been fairly even overall. I mean, there's a little bit where it's a little bit of an area where it's not burning down as much as some of the other area, but not enough to ruin it. And I have had to relight it, but the ash is great too. It's been building some nice gray type of ash, which shows that it was fermented well and aged pretty well. So before I bought it, but I bought this cigar probably, I don't know, gosh, probably about 4 months ago, probably. And so it's been aging in my humidor for about 4 months or so, and it's a great tasting cigar. It really is. One thing I also wanted to mention, I mentioned it before, don't take these bands off immediately. Leave them on there until you get your cigar burned down to that band. Uh, you're taking a risk of your cigar falling apart, because if you pull that band off too soon, the pectin that they seal these bands with on the cigars, it can pull some of your wrapper off, and then your wrapper will crack and fall apart. So you don't want that to happen. You want to keep that band on there as long as you can. And there are just so many bands that are just really neat looking. They're fun to look at. And this one's a little more of a plain, smaller band, but it says Blackened on it. But a lot of bands are just really pretty. There's so many pretty bands out there on cigars, and so leave those bands on there, admire them, appreciate them, and just do it for your cigar so it doesn't fall apart on you. But I'm probably into almost the second part of the cigar, and it's been a great cigar so far. It really has. So anyway, um, let's see here, and then I don't have all the vinyls, but I do have CDs. So anyway, so then Metallica brought out Load, and much more commercial type metal music, but great album still. And this album, I want to say, came out in '91, I think. Let's see. No, I'm way off. The Black Album came out in '91, and then this one came out in 1996. So there's Load. Came out in 1996. And then they brought out Reload the year following in '97. So there's that one. And this has some great songs on it. Let's see here. The song that I really got into a lot was, let's see here. The memory remains. Um, and let's see here. Let's see. I think that was the song that I really got into the most, was The Memory Remains. That was a great song. Um, and then they brought out Garage Incorporated again, but with more songs added to it. Um, so they brought out the old album, which is the song listings right. Let's see here, right there. And then they brought out more songs of bands that they've admired and looked up to, and did covers of those songs. So just a lot of great songs on this. And this came out in 19. Oh, let's see here. Came out in 1996. And the first Garage Days they brought out, it says on here that it was in 1988 actually. So anyway, but this is a great CD to pick up as well. Garage Incorporated, um, and I think they consider this. I think they called it Revisited or something at one time. Garage Incorporated Revisited or something like that. But great album also. and Jason Newsted was still a part of Metallica at this time. Um, and then they brought out live S&M with the San Francisco Orchestra, and so that's a great album too. S&M. I never would have thought Metallica and a symphony would sound great together, but it did. I got the DVD to this as well, but that's a great, great album. And then they brought out Saint Anger, and this was where Robert Trujillo started with Metallica. And this was a good album, but it didn't have all the riffs and stuff like Kirk Hammett usually used to do. Uh, Good album, but I would say this is probably my least favorite album of Metallica. Um, and that came out in 2003. And then they brought out, let's see here, they brought out next Death Magnetic, and that came out, let's see here. Death Magnetic came out in 2008, and that's this album here. And this is where they got back to their old sound again. So that came out in 2008. And so that's a great album. And then they followed it with a live album called Through the Never. And there was a movie that came out with this as well that they had their soundtrack to. And I think you can catch that movie on YouTube. And there is a DVD of it if you find it. It's pretty good, interesting movie and music, and the music's great with it as well. So, but anyway, so Through the Never, um, good live album, and then they brought out S&M2, and that came out in let's see here, S&M2 came out in 2020. S&M came out in 99. I meant to mention that. S&M2, 2020 is when this came out. So anyway, and then of course, the last album they brought out was Hardwired to Self-Destruct. So there's that album, and that came out in 2000, 2016. And then, of course, their new album, 72 Seasons, will be out this month on the 14th. So great bunch of albums that Metallica has. I love all of them in their own way, and they all have a lot of different sound each album, and I love that too because it keeps their music interesting and everything. Um, so I recommend any of these albums that Metallica's brought out if you're new to heavy metal and hard rock. Um, but the last one I would pick up is Saint Anger. Probably I'd pick up everything else. Uh, Saint Anger, Load and Reload are probably the three that I'd buy the last. So I'd probably check out everything else first that they've got. And then, of course, some of the other bands that I love that are considered thrash heavy metal or thrash hardcore metal or speed metal, of course, is Megadeth. And there's Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. And that came out, that came out in I want to say 83 as well or so. This was after Dave Mustaine was let go of Metallica. Which Dave Mustaine was, one of their guitarists in the very beginning that sings for Megadeth. So this was the first album they brought out. Pretty hardcore album. You can tell they were really trying to learn their sound at the time and experimenting with how they wanted to sound. But if you're looking for a great CD of Megadeth, definitely check out that one as well. Great CD. And then my ultimate favorite Megadeth album is Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? And that, trying to not get all the glare on there, but there we go. But there's that, and there's the back of it. But anyway, some of the great songs on this, of course, was Wake Up Dead, The Conjuring, Peace Sells, and I Ain't Superstitious. They did it's a cover song that they did. I'm trying to remember who sang that one. But so great CD as well from Megadeth. And then my third favorite Megadeth CD is Rust in Peace. And that one had Holy Wars, The Punishments Due, Hangar 18, Five Magics. And my gosh, I mean, all the songs are great on this CD. really great CD. And so if you're new to heavy metal, thrash metal, speed metal, these are great. Everything I've showed you so far are great albums to pick up. And then, of course, Anthrax, Among the Living. This is a great, great CD from Anthrax. And the songs they had on there was Among the Living, Cotton and Mosh, I Am the Law. Um, oh, gosh. So those are the great songs that they got off of this album. And this CD I picked up it's a box or a deluxe edition. And this one has a live show on it that they did um, at the it was live in London, and that was back in 1987 when this came out, when the show was. So, great album to pick up. And last but not least, um, this is a great live album from Slayer, Decade of Aggression. And this covers a lot of their whole catalog on there. But and this CD, this album came out in 1991. So up through 1991, from the time they started to 1991, it's got a lot of great songs from their catalog. And, of course, it includes Hell Awaits, The Antichrist, War Ensemble, South of Heaven, Raining Blood, and Mandatory Suicide. Those are all my favorite songs from Slayer. So all those are great. So anyway, if you're younger and you're new to hard rock or hardcore thrash metal type stuff, these are great albums to start out with to check out, and I guarantee you'll love them all. I guarantee it. So, but anyway, that's my some of my collection. I got much more, but it would take me forever to go through everything that I own, and But so I wanted to give you just a little taste of the big four. The big four. um, Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer, and Anthrax. So great bands to start off with if you're new to hardcore thrash metal, if you're in the younger generation. And once you listen to those things and you love it, which I know you will, make sure you pass that on to everyone around you and get them in on that too, and get them away from all this crap that's out these days. Um, the music these days just sucks. It really does. There's a few good metal bands that are newer out there that are pretty good, but most music these days really stink. But I love Slipknot. I love Korn, and a band that I just started really liking is called The Pretty Reckless, and great band. So check The Pretty Reckless out. They're just oh gosh, I don't even know how to describe their music, but it's definitely got metal and grunge and um, some underground metal sounds, kind of like the way Marilyn Manson has his music styles. It reminds you of that a little bit, but just a great band. And the gal that sings for them, let me look up her name because I always forget it. The gal that sings for them was the little girl in the Grinch movie. And um, so that's who sings for him. And let's see here. The lead singer is Taylor Momsen. That's the name of the girl that was in the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey when she was little. That's who sings for him, and they're a great band. Check them out. But for the newer metal bands, and these guys have been out for about 10 years, but I just caught on to them here a couple weeks ago. But dark lyrics, but a lot of reflection on just things she's gone through in her life, but very dark, some very dark lyrics. So be prepared for that. But anyway, but great band. I really really enjoy them. And so for anything newer these days, that'd probably be the only other band I'm into besides Slipknot or where Slipknot's been around a long time, Korn's been around a long time, but for the newer stuff, I would say that's a really great band to check out. So check them out, definitely, and see what you think of them. Let me know what you think. So. I'm getting close to the band, so I'm gonna take that band off. I think I'm getting really close to it. But this has been a great cigar, guys. It really has, and I do recommend it. I really do, and I hope you guys will definitely grab some of these and try them. But I love the aromas that I'm getting off of it. I'm really loving all the taste notes of the chocolate espresso, the more full bodied flavors. Medium body flavors of the espresso or of the oak and leather and the chocolate notes. Loving all of it. So I definitely recommend the cigar, guys. I have had to relight it, but I won't knock off too many points for that. But I'm probably going to rate this cigar probably at least a 90 or 91. But still burns evenly, for the most part. The construction's been great. It hasn't unraveled or cracked or anything on me, so that's good. So, you know, overall, pretty good cigar, guys. It really is. But I'll probably let you guys go for the time being, and I'll catch you guys again next week, and I'll have another great cigar to smoke and review for you, and discuss music, discuss maybe some of my collections of whatever it may be next time. Um, and I'll try to always find what's out there in the on the market for cigars that are highly recommended. But I like to smoke and review these for you guys to let you know what I think, and then you guys can go out and find them yourself and smoke it yourself and see what experiences you get. But if you guys do ever have to relight a cigar, if it burns just a little bit unevenly at times, um, you can always take your lighter and just touch up those areas that are not burning down as much as the other areas. But fortunately, I haven't had to touch this up at all. Um, but if that ever happens, it's not it's not something to let it ruin your experience. But anyway, hopefully, if you guys find this, you'll enjoy as much as I have. And again, thank you guys for all your support and everything with me and with all this here. Um, Again, check out my Harper Cigar Lounge group page. Join it. Give me your feedback and check out all the other videos that I've done on YouTube under the Harper Cigar Lounge name. And check them out. A lot of good content on those. And I need a drink real quick. Ugh, gosh. But cheers to you guys. Cheers to you. Cheers to you guys. Got a little bit of the hiccups all of a sudden. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this today. And keep rocking. Go to the shows, support those bands out there, pick up their albums, CDs, cassettes, downloads, whatever it is, but support them so they'll be around for a while. And I love you guys. God bless you. Happy Good Friday and have a happy Easter. And, you guys are in my prayers and thoughts every day. God bless you guys. And I'll see you guys in the comments that you leave for me. But again, on the YouTube channel, please join. Leave me your feedback. Hit a like on the channel under each video. Give me your feedback. Message me. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what's going on with you. I'll make sure I keep in touch with you as well. But God bless you guys, and thanks again for hanging out with me today. This was much needed, It's been way too long. It's been 2 weeks since I've done my last podcast, so this was really needed. I was so anxious to get down here and hang out with you guys. And again, guys, just when you smoke your cigars, just take a couple hours, escape. Don't worry about what's going on out there in this dang world. That's crazy. And it just gets crazier and crazier, the things that are going on. But don't let that ruin your time to yourself to reflect and on the good things in your life. Enjoy those cigars. Keep rocking, keep smoking, guys. And I will see you. I'll see you soon. But bye bye. Again, keep rocking. Keep fucking metal real. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.